It's time to have the conversation. Are the Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl bound?
The road to New Orleans will start in a few months. Let's get ready for the ride. Gas up the cars, baby. Let's get to New Orleans. Gas it up. Let's go.
Hey, thank you, VMAC, mate. I'll see you all later. As always, here we go, Steelers.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Alrighty, Steel Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. So I've been playing that clip a few times now over the last 10 weeks, 13 weeks for our season. And the Steelers are 10-3. We're going into the playoffs. We have 4 games to go into gauntlet. They want to say the gauntlet didn't start 4 games ago. Now we're 4-1, lost against the Browns. We beat the Commanders, Ravens, beat the Bengals, beat the Browns. We split with them too. They'll say the gauntlet is going to start now being the Eagles, Ravens, Christmas Day, Chiefs, and the refs at the same time, then to finish with the Bengals. I know we still have one more month of football, but now's the time to introduce the fact that the Steelers could be Super Bowl bound. It could happen. The Bengals lost yesterday against the Rams. The Chiefs keep sneaking away with wins. We've beaten the Chargers. We've beaten the Ravens in the playoffs. We've beaten the Broncos. So these teams on the AFC side can be beaten. And I'm going to go through why this team is special. And if you're a huge Steelers fan like me and you believe in this team and you see what Mike Tomlin is doing, you're watching Hard Knocks, you're getting pumped up, you're getting, like I said, with B-Mac calling them out there in New Orleans, you're having a good time, and you're almost like, all right, this could be a possibility. The Steelers could be a Super Bowl team. They're a very, very special team. I'm going to go quickly through the remaining schedule here. And a reminder, too, that we have the Wizard of Oz. He's an absolute legend. But here's the remaining schedule. So we beat Commanders, Ravens, Browns. We lost to the Browns. We beat the Bengals, Browns. And we have 4 games to go. Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, and Bengals. That is the remaining schedule for us. But this could be time right now to talk about the Steelers are Super Bowl bound. And here's why. Russell Wilson is the guy. I think there should be almost talk to. There needs to be talk around Russell Wilson. Maybe in the offseason, signing a contract. Don't know how much money, but sign a contract for like 2-3 years, and he can retire a Seahawk and a Steeler. He wants nothing to do with the Denver Broncos. Every time he talks, Russell Wilson at the microphone, he's always paying, respect or talking about his past history with the Seattle Seahawks, or talking about Mike Tomlin and this team and how much he believes in the receivers, in the running game, in his O-linemen, and how checked in Russell Wilson is in this team. He never brings up Denver. He can't stand Denver. That was a bad moment, a bad breakup with Denver, and how poorly they treated him. And they're paying his salary for him to be here on a 1-year vet deal. But I want to see the Steelers go and extend that. He's playing good football. I think he has like 12 TDs, 1,700 yards, 3 interceptions, 1 shouldn't have counted. But Russell Wilson is playing excellent football. So in the stretch with 4 games to go, we can beat the Eagles, we can beat the Ravens, we can beat the Chiefs, and we can beat the Bengals. This team can be a playoff team. This team can be a Super Bowl team. And here's why. I want to point in the fact that in the Browns game, you had Ben Skowronek, who's a gunner, and number 4 or 5 receiver on the team. He made a huge play by getting the ball was fumbled, and he recovered the ball. That was a turnover. Had another big play too by James Pierre, who also got a turnover playing some secondary, some cornerback, and he got an interception. Those are 2 blokes on your team right now that are special teams gunners, and they're making huge plays. The amount of depth in this team is insane. From running back to going all the way down to Cordero Patterson, yes, he should not fumble that ball, but he will get better. He will overcome that. Players don't want to fumble the ball, nor do running backs. They don't want to. But you got Najee Harris, you got Warren, you got guys in there on the offensive line. Frazier, who's a first year real starter, rookie center. You got McCormick as well playing guard, who James Daniel went out for an injury. You got Jones now. Broderick Jones been stepping up. Dan Moore on the other side been stepping up. Isaac Seumalo, the offensive line's playing much better, right? There was some conversation around the fact that it was, oh my goodness, Russell Wilson can't play behind a scrappy O-line. But each week they're getting better. and they're only allowing like 1 sack, 2 sacks a game, whatever it may be. But their run blocking scheme is awesome to see. Warren run through the line, and Najee, when he does hit the hole correctly, he's hard to stop. This is why the Steelers are a good side. Also, why the Steelers are a good side is they've been scoring 27 points per game, and it goes back to the Mike Tomlin. And I went on a Mike Tomlin rant the other day, and I thought it had to be said that people want him fired and this kind of stuff. And every time you lose a game, they want to fire Mike Tomlin. It's just not going to happen. But from the choice and the decision to change from Justin Fields, who I still like, I think he can still be used in our offense. But they went from him to Russell Wilson. Next minute, you're scoring 20 points per game to now 27, 28 points per game. And as the graphic I had here, because the Browns suck yesterday, 27-14. So a certain moment in this game, in the third quarter, fourth quarter, you're like, they could score more points. Najee Harris went down the field, but they just wanted to get a first down, like right near the sticks. It could have been 34-14, but you didn't need to win that way. You just went and got the first down, you kneeled down, the game's over, you get out of there. This team is special. If you go all around, like I did most of the offense, but even without not playing Pickens yesterday, they won without Pickens. He's still our number one receiver, but they got the ball to Scotty Miller. They got the ball to Mike Williams. They got the ball to Freiermuth. They're trying to get the ball to Darnell if they can, but he's a great blocker. You saw the connection with Scotty Miller on that big first down that he got like 20 yards. So these are guys that, from an outside perspective, you say, oh, who's Scotty Miller? Well, he's a former Super Bowl champion. Who's Ben Skronik? Well, he's a former Super Bowl champion. Who is Elena Roberts? Well, he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? And these guys want to play football. Go back and watch when you go to the defense. Go back and watch E-Rob absolutely lay out the guy on the other side was the O-lineman trying to pull around the guard, and he smashed him, knocked him back, and it was like one of those plays you're like, oh my goodness, these guys are stepping up and hitting on their blocking schemes so other players can make tackles, right? Cameron Haywood at his age, 35, which is my age, same age, he is going off in the NFL right now with 8 sacks, put his hand up, pass deflections, he's getting tackles for loss, he's putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback at his age. A lot of people, or some people, not a lot, some people in the NFL and Steel fans wanted to get rid of him and say, nah, he's done, make him retire. We don't need Cameron Haywood. Cameron Haywood's on a 2-year, 3-year contract, whatever it was, and he's playing excellent football on a high level of Steelers football, who could be in consideration, really, for Defensive Player of the Year. But I still think that TJ Watt has it in the running. And going from TJ Watt to the other side, Highsmith comes back. He gets a sack. He's getting a lot of pressure. It's very tough for quarterbacks to step up in the pocket or find receivers downfield, right? When you're getting pressure from the edge, and also the internal pressure from Cameron Haywood, Ogunjobi, and the other bloke there, Keanu Benton, who stepped up and tracked that ball for a pick. This team is special, man. If you can't see it by now, that's why I want to talk about it from this point. After the Browns game, and if they do, and there's a lot, and look, they're an outsider. They're a massive outsider. But from this point, being 10-3, two games above the Ravens, it's now time to start thinking about the Steelers can be a Super Bowl champion. There's been conversations around, well, maybe it should be next year after a good draft. We've got Arthur Smith in his offense. Do you sign back Najee? You have maybe a better O-line. Maybe you get some more depth as well at that position. Maybe you see what Zach Frazier or McCormick does in their second year. But they're doing it now. Like, while the iron is hot, while the team is playing good football, scoring 27, the defense allowing only 14, 15 points per game, right? While the iron is hot, the conversation needs to start now. Now, we don't have to get too far in front of ourselves and say we are going to win the Super Bowl, but at least there's a chance we can talk about maybe if they went on a run. They can beat KC. They can beat Denver. They can beat Chargers. They've shown that. They can beat the Bills. They've done it in the past. And the Bills aren't the crazy, flashiest team out there getting done by the Rams, right? Josh Allen, sure, he got 3 TDs running and 3 TDs passing. But they're still beatable if they mark up and they take them on in the playoffs. I don't see why they can't beat the Bills, or at least have a chance to. And the Chiefs, they're 12-1, sneaking away. But for some reason, I think it comes back to here's the reason. Here's the reason why it comes back. It comes back to the point of, like, the Steelers aren't a Super Bowl contender because of the playoff miscues and the playoff damage that has been done over the last 7 years. You talk to a lot of Steelers fans or media out there and they'll be like, well, can the Steelers do this? Yeah, but Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in 7 years. That is the drawback, I think, on most of this stuff. But if you look around the NFL, the defense and the Steelers are playing fantastic, getting 26 turnovers plus like 15. Their points per game on defense is 15, 16 points per game. Their offense on fire right now, going down the field, holding the possession, holding the ball, giving our guys time to rest on defense and play their style of game. They're running through this gauntlet where we shouldn't be winning games, which was Commanders. They said Commanders going to beat us. They said the Ravens were going to beat us. They said that there's a good chance the Bengals could beat us. The only one the Steelers have lost in the gauntlet 5-1 so far is the Browns game in the snow, and one different punt away. If that punt wasn't shanked and that punt went down the field, we'd be winning that game 19-18. And also in the season too, you should expect losses. And these are one-score games where they've lost. I think the Colts was a one-score game. The Cowboys was early in the year was a one-score game. And also the Browns was a one-score game. So think about that. And it does come down to where if we go in the playoffs, we have to have a big run. And as long as people are healthy, like I said, from these players like TJ Watt, Highsmith, these guys getting healthy, Pickens maybe getting healthy too, this team has a shot. It's like now, it's time to believe now. If we walk into the Eagles and we win the game 31-30 or 31-27, and we win that game and go, oh my goodness, we're now 11-3 team heading into Baltimore with a chance to win the division, we should be start thinking of having the conversation. Can the Pittsburgh Steelers right now go to New Orleans, like B-Mac said, in the offseason, go to New Orleans and win the Super Bowl? It's a good chance. Think about it. Look around the NFL. There's no true outstanding team. Maybe the Lions. They're probably one of the best ones in the NFC. Eagles are on fire right now. They're playing really good football. But in the AFC side, you've got maybe Chargers going okay, like good on defense, playing that style of football. But the Chiefs can be beaten. This team is special, man. Look around all those players like that and how Russ and Mike Tomlin speak about the team, how they motivate the team, and how there's no real drama. No, there's no real drama. There's no real drama inside this team except players want to get better. Russ has found his home for the next 3 years if they give him a contract. Najee, he could come back by getting a contract next year. It's fun. It's fun to be a Steelers fan. It's fun this wild ride now. I'm getting ready now to go to Pittsburgh in like 8 days. I fly away in 8 days. And I'm getting very keen because it's now the time to jump on or at least start the conversation around Super Bowl bound. It could be a possibility. And why not? We get in the dance. If we beat Philadelphia, we win. We're in the playoffs. If we beat the Ravens, we win the division. Then you've got 2 more games to go to try and find out seeding. If we beat the Chiefs and they fall off, if the Bills lose once, we might be looking at the Steelers to be a number 1 overall seed. And it's because of the players that we have. The players like Freiermuth, Cameron Hayward, Atlanta Roberts, Patrick Queen playing freaking awesome. Peyton Wilson as a rookie playing great. JPJ, yeah, he's handsy, but he's playing good. Minka, yes, he hasn't been targeted, but it's probably a reason for why Minka hasn't been targeted, because you don't want to go his direction. They're going to throw the deep ball all the way his direction, and it's going to force other players like Dante Jackson to step up and take it away. Deshaun Elliott has been awesome for our team as well, getting tackles and getting plays on the ball and knocking things down. I could go on forever and ever and ever and ever, but it has been a really long episode talking about our Steelers being Super Bowl bound. A lot of people will tell you that they're pretenders. They're not a contender. You've got the big 4 of like Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, and I don't know, maybe Denver or someone like that, or maybe Chargers or someone else in there. You got some other players like that. Ravens are in there too. Maybe it's a big 4 or 5 or 6. They never seem to give the Steelers credit, even though they're playing team football from a offensive standpoint, defensive standpoint, and special teams. Chris Boswell, absolute legend. Gunners on the outside, getting fumbles, getting interceptions too. Our team is playing all over the shop in terms of turnovers. Every time they get a turnover, that some of their coaches give them a shirt saying, I've got a turnover shirt. There's that culture behind our team right now being 10-3. It's a good time. It's a good time to be a Steel fan. Anyway, Steel Nation, Thank you for checking out Steel Nation Australia. That's all I wanted to rant about today, was the fact that we have to start having that conversation around the Steelers Super Bowl contenders or Super Bowl bound. The Steelers can go there. They can go to New Orleans for Super Bowl 59. Now, will I go there? Dude, it'd be awesome if I could. If I get time off work, I don't know. We'll see how it happens. But we've got 4 games to go before the season's over. Then we have playoffs. We have a long road from here, right? It's not over yet. Still a long road to go. But it's now time to start talking about our team led by Russell Wilson, a good running game, a solid offensive linemen that are playing awesome. Our tight ends are playing pretty good. We're moving the ball down the field. We're getting TDs. We're converting field goals. When defense, we're turning balls over. Keanu Benton, strip sack, TJ Watt, Nick Herbig, you're naming it, right? I'm naming it. We're going good. It's now time to start talking about the Steelers as a Super Bowl contender. Are we Super Bowl bound? Steeler Nation, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. But like I said, let's play it again. B-Mac,
The road to New Orleans will start in a few months. Let's get ready for the ride. Gas up the cars, baby. Let's get to New Orleans. Gas it up. Let's go.
Hey, thank you, B-Mac, mate. I'll see you all later. As always, here we go, Steelers.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.